each time I look at this figure, the first thing that comes to mind is that she is shoving her hands into her trousers to scratch some itchy balls. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 27th of October to 1st of November 2025. For this week, we have a moderate amount of genuine figures on pre-order. Meanwhile, the third parties are a bit lesser. So hopefully this won't be too long, just like last week, which we had a lot of stuff to go through. Anyways, for this week, the genuine figures side especially, this is an amazing week. We have good stuff from Nikke and Azur Lane. Again, this never ends, right? Yeah, Nikke and Azur Lane. But in general, we have a very good week for figure pre-orders. First up, we take a look at Hobby Link Japan for genuine figures on pre-order this week. And starting off with 1x4 scale, as usual, we have two figures from Good Smile Company at 1x4 scale. So this is actually Good Smile figures, not freeing. I just asked this question last week. Really? Good Smile is making 1x4s? And that seems to be the case. Just that they are going a little bit mainstream because these things are guaranteed to sell. But this 1x4 scale BNHA Izuku Midoriya metallic version looks fantastic. 30,000 yen only at 1x4, which is very reasonable, to be honest with you guys. I mean, there is so much detail on this figure, and also, well, we have effect parts in the base, and it is not a plain boring Barney girl figure. And most importantly, the metallic shiny paint on his outfit, and you are paying only 30,000 yen. Week over week, month over month, freeing is looking worse in terms of value offering. The kind of prices they have been asking for their 1x4 scale Barney figures. So for BNHA fans, I think this is a no-brainer as long as you have the space for 1x4 scale. Moving up next, also from BNHA, we have Katsuki Bakugo metallic version 30k releasing in May next year. Quite the fast release date, 6 months away. This one is not that bling, not that shiny, but it looks like these two figures are meant to be a set. Yeah, Izuku Midoriya is April release and Bakugo May release. That is pretty fast. You look at the shiny leatherette outfit over here. Looks nice, man. I won't collect mainstream shonen stuff, but I have to admit that this is amazing value at 1x4 scale, really. I wonder if we are getting a base for this figure. Not that he needs it, but who knows. Ideally, you will still want to use a base for your figures, even though if the figure may not necessarily need it because you do not want any scratches or paint transfer to happen, right? Sometimes when you display a figure like this on a plain wooden surface, but it is not natural wood, your wood has been painted before, then you might end up with paint transfer issues. So always give your figure a base, even if the figure may not need it. Next up, we have a 1x4 scale Chainsaw Man Kobani Barney version by freeing 30,000 yen, March 2026 release. This is one of the saddest Barney girl figures I've seen. Yeah, Kobani is very timid. She is always having anxiety 99.9% of the time. But still, it feels like genuine figure brands are not doing her any justice at all. Boring outfit, white color, and of course boring pose. I mean, look at all four over here. Kobani is easily the worst looking one in terms of detail level, right? And pose, very plain pose. I think this is the kind of figure where you buy just because you want to complete the set. You already have 3 other characters and then, you just want to have everything. Otherwise, it feels like something is missing. I personally call that incomplete set anxiety syndrome. And I do have that problem sometimes, but I have been trying to fight it off. Like, you don't always need everything. I mean, if the set is 3 or 4 figures, then I would want to complete it. But if the set is 9, 11 characters, like those are, what do you call it, idol stuff, Love Life 9 characters, and I must possibly more, right? You can't possibly buy everything unless you are a hardcore fan. Can't say I can recommend this one I think you should wait until after release. Maybe you will get even, a big discount. It might happen, especially for a character like this. Moving up next, we have 1x5 skill by Kaitendo, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Lulu, or is it Yulu? You see, I did not watch season 2 at all. Yeah, did not watch. I only watched season 1. 25k is okay for a 1x5 skill. April released next year, and if you don't know about Kaitendo, they have been around for more than a decade. It is a pretty old figure brand by now, just that they don't release many figures because it is like a side quest to them. They also make other kinds of products, right? And their figures are very mid. You're looking at B- or C+ even in terms of my rating, right? Good Smile Company is only a B+ to me. It is not A yet. Yeah, B+. And this is B- or even C+ for Kaitendo. So if you want one, by all means, go ahead. I would rather you get the ones by other brand when it comes to this character. There are a few other options out there. But if you want it big, 1x5 skill, then this is not necessarily a bad buy, but keep your expectations in check. Yeah. Moving up next, also from Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, we have a 1x6 skill Kana Kamui. Excited to wear a swimsuit at home version. Right, this is the purple version by Kaitendo. So there was a different color version in the past, just under 20,000 yen, January 2026 release. Kaitendo, some of the figures are resin, some are PVC, but from the looks of it, going by the price points of these two figures, most likely it is PVC. Yeah, their resin stuff are slightly more expensive. It won't be that good of a value. And I believe that if you go through these pictures over here, you can kind of already tell that this is a very mid figure, right? Detail levels and everything, they are very average. So that is the kind of quality you get with this brand. Not that there is anything wrong with it, but I feel like the price could have been a little bit lower because even if this is a 1x6 skill, lolly character, very short, very small figure. So I'm not sure if this is a good price for this 1x6 skill over here. Moving on to the next one, 1x6 skill Ichiban Kasuga from Like a Dragon, Yakuza by Kotobukiya, 26,000 yen, May release next year. So 26k for 1/6 and a male character, which tend to be quite tall, it is an okay price really. And this looks pretty darn realistic, right? Yeah, not bad at all. Not the kind of things I would buy, but he looks good, and there is even some texture on his coat over there. Right, fine texture, the kind you see in resin figures. I think there is a bit of it over here, so that is nice to see. However, I won't collect stuff like this. Moving up next, we have Kotobukiya again, 1x6 skill, Summer Color Jean. Is it Genie or Jean? But anyways, this is the vacation version from Fantasy Star Online 2 ES. 25,000 yen, May release next year. Personally, I like the Amakuni versions a little bit more. It is like the colors and everything are a lot more vibrant. It seems like it is a bit more detailed, but Kotobukiya has a bigger figure, 1/6 instead of 1/7. In fact, I can't remember if the Amakuni version was 1/6 or 1/7. That was on pre-order quite a long while ago, right? Kotobukiya is not a bad purchase because even if they may not be the best brand and they are not even close to Amakuni, they are extremely consistent at least, so it is very unlikely for things to go wrong, right? So it is still a very safe pre-order if you want one. And I'm a bit surprised that this is a 1/6. I do remember covering this figure in previous figure events like Mega Hobby Expo, or was it Kotobukiya events in February, and I wasn't aware that this is a 1/6. I thought it was 1/7 all this while. So this is a nice surprise. Moving up next, okay, this figure I covered her already last week on Ami Ami, and now this week she is now available on HLJ if this is where you prefer to get this figure. iSherika OL version by Bokai Co. Limited, 10,000 yen only. Yep, low budget Chinese skill figure brand. And another new brand, literally my first time seeing it, like I said last week. So we don't know anything about this brand yet, but it is pretty low risk, right? 10,000 yen only if you're interested. December 2026 release for a character that looks somewhat like a Blue Archive character, not a bad deal. Moving up next, 1x6 skill Dragon Girl Satsuki from Young Lady, 17,500 yen, August release. So can you cast off this figure at least the top? The answer is I don't know. But there is a likelihood where you can do so, because being a Chinese brand, they would rather not advertise that this feature is available because they do not want to attract unnecessary attention from the government, But who knows, maybe you can remove the head and remove the top cloth piece, right? Lift it up like that and you get her bear or pie. That is always a possibility, but don't get your hopes too high. This is young lady's best looking figure yet. And this is a very new brand. They already have a few figures on pre-order, but I'm not sure if any of them have been released yet. And every previous pre-orders from this brand, I did not like the character design at all. This one is the best looking one yet amongst all, but I'm not exactly a big melon kind of person. Yeah, but her face looks pretty good. Moving on to the next one, now we enter 1x7 skill territory, and this is a very good week. We have amazing stuff from Nikke and Azur Lane again. Now starting off with Nikke, Hobby Sakura is back, 1x7 skill Grave. Beautiful You Deluxe Edition with the Wall Scroll for 24,500 yen. July release next year. I don't feel like pre-ordering this one. Maybe I'll get it after release. I don't exactly hate tomboyish women. Some of them are pretty charming in a way. And this one over here, female characters that are kind of hot in a tuxedo is not exactly very common. They managed to make the character very attractive. And maybe I should 3D print a casket for her if I get this figure. But anyways, I'll wait until after release for this one. I'm interested, but I don't feel like pre-ordering this one early. And then there is the standard version for 22,500 yen. It is a very stylish looking figure, but I have a dirty mind, you see. Each time I look at this figure, the first thing that comes to mind is that she is shoving her hands into her trousers to scratch some itchy balls. I mean, her hand is outside, it is not inside, but my mind interprets it as ball scratching for some reason. I hope that I did not ruin your impression of this figure just by describing her this way. But this is a very nice figure regardless. But moving up next. Okay, another Nikke figure, Rosanna Chick Ocean by Apex Toys, just under 18,000 yen. I was expecting this to start with the digit 2 in pricing, but they managed to surprise me by pricing this near 18,000 yen, not 20k or more. Nice. And this is probably Apex Toys' most daring figure yet. So far, Apex Toys, their figures have been pretty, safe for work in a way. Maybe except for a few Azur Lane figures, right? But this is one of their most daring figures so far. And I don't feel like pre-ordering, once again, even though I am a big Nikke fan, because Apex Toy stuff are pretty easy to find after release, so I don't see a point in adding more debt into... No, I consider figure pre-orders as debt in a way. You owe someone money. I know that you can always cancel your pre-orders later, but I am not the kind of person to do that. I mean, I feel bad for the figure stores, Like, it feels like breaking a promise in a way. And they go and pre-order and take the stocks, and then suddenly everyone cancels it. So it is not a nice thing to do. Not to mention on HLJ, once you exceed a certain deadline, then you can't cancel your pre-orders anymore. At least that is the rule nowadays. Most likely because they have been getting so many pre-order cancellations all of a sudden, especially with all these tariff thing and the uncertainties recently. So they had to come up with a rule like that. Understandable. Yeah, I don't feel like pre-ordering this one yet. We'll see. With Apex Toys stuff, I can always purchase it after release from the official store in China. Right, moving on to the next one. This is another main highlight this week, also by Apex Toys, Azur Lane Casino Fresh and Sweet version. 20k only for everything in this picture. What a great deal. November release 2026, so between this and the Nikke Rosanna figure earlier, I would say this is the better pre-order. If you want it bigger 1x4 scale, I believe Alpha Max has one, right, on pre-order as well. But 1x7, between this and... Wait, does Alter have a 1x7 of her? I can't remember. But this figure of Casino comes with so many accessories, a milk tank and that KFC over there. I would take this one first, right? This is a very good figure for 20k. A lot of stuff going on over here. So I consider this to be the main highlight this week. And this one is overshadowing that Nikke Gozena figure earlier for a very good reason. Yeah, pre-order one. If you love Azur Lane, pre-order one. Next up, another Azur Lane figure, but by Alter Aegir Ironblood's Dragon Maid version. Almost 32,000 yen, January release next year. No, January release 2027, my bad. Yep, 2027, so you have plenty of time to save up. And between this and also the Nin-Nin-Game version, tough choice because I do like the Nin-Nin-Game version where she comes with a table set of some kind, comes with Chinese style furniture for roughly 25,000 yen, the deluxe version. And that is a 1x6. The Nin-Nin-Game one is a 1x6, but when it comes to craftsmanship and detail, Alter is going to win, right? Nin-Nin-Game is a bit like China's Kotobukiya. They give you a lot of great value, 1x6 scale, big figure, good quality, 25k. Alter is a bit smaller, 1x7, but if the detailing part, the shading, Alter is going to win. Yeah, so it really depends on you. There is a significant 8,000 yen difference, 25k and 32k over here between the Nin-Nin-Game and the Alter version. And I do like this figure a lot by Alter simply because, once again, I have a dirty mind, so it feels like watching at Aegir pointing a middle finger at you, even though she isn't really doing that. How nice it would be if that arm is replaceable, right? If another different one pointing a middle finger. Yeah, I would love to have that option. Of course, they won't do that. This is easy to recommend, very easy to recommend. You have deep pockets and you want a good Aegir figure, then pre-order this one. Yeah, it is Alter after all. Next up, this is also highlighted this week. At least that is what I consider her to be. Coming from Wonderful Works with Azur Lane and Atelier Raizatu collaboration, Resin Stout Late Night Alchemist version. More like baby making version. Yep, Resin Stout is smoking hot over here. I kind of really want one. And 22,000 yen is a very good price considering what you're getting over here. Just that Wonderful Works is meat, right? They are a bit like B-tier company. Their stuff won't be as good as Alter or Good Smile, but not a bad figure brand either. Like, you know, as long as you keep your expectations in check, you will be happy with the figure. Yeah. So this brand, I have only reviewed one figure from them, and that would be the Astrologist. The Astrologist from Genshin Impact. It was okay. Mona Magisters. It was okay, but when you compare it to other better figure brands out there, you can kind of see the difference. It is like, it is a bit inferior, yet at the same time, there's nothing quite wrong with the figure. Not sure if it is the quality of the paint job, the quality of the paint itself they used, or the finishing, the coating, or the detailing and shading. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but when you compare it, you notice it. But if you look at the figure on its own, it is an okay figure, right? So this could be potentially a very good pre-order if you like what you're looking at over here. Moving on to the next one, Hatsune Miku, Snow Miku, by Kuromi, I think, the artist behind this Miku. So at 1x7 scale, she is about 24,000 yen, November release by Good Smile Company. The one thing that really caught my attention about this Snow Miku figure is that, yep, pearlescent paint again. I have grown to like this kind of paintwork recently. I'm not sure if you can see it in these sample pictures, but her blue color outfit, the color gradients, right, there's some violet, some blue over here, and even on her stockings, yeah, I wish that I could zoom in more, but you can see some shiny finish over there. So we are getting pearlescent paint again, which is very nice. And I suppose that Miku fans are going to eat this thing up. Yeah, this looks really good. There's a bit too much blue color, but hey, it is Miku we are talking about. This character will sell on its own. Moving up next, V Singer Luo Tianyi. Yep, A Dimension is a Chinese brand. Last week I said that I wasn't sure yet, but by now, yeah, I'm quite certain that it is a Chinese brand now. Anyways, This is limited to 4,999 units worldwide, which is actually still a pretty big number. 5,000 units, you have a pretty decent chance of getting her as long as you pre-order it early. And when you're getting a figure at 1/7 scale with that bike over there, cyberpunk, science fiction style bike, all of this for 27,000 yen, hell yes. As long you like Luo Tianyi, pre-order it. And if that claim of under 5,000 units is true, she's going to retain a bit of value. So this is not a bad pre-order at all. It is just that, I don't think I will be touching anything when it comes to this character Luo Tianyi. But at the same time, this bike would be very nice to display with Rei Ayanami from Evangelion. I mean, the design language is very suitable. Man, I wonder if you can make it into the queue, the 5,000 units queue, if you pre-order it right now. Who knows, right? So if you want one, I suppose that you shouldn't wait too long and pre-order it as early as possible for this figure over here. Moving up next, Kotobukiya 1/7 scale Nakiri Ayame Shrine Maiden Fortune outfit version from Hololive, 25k, June release. Yep, Nakiri Ayame Kotobukiya has released different versions of this character before. They become pretty rare and expensive given how popular she is. So 25k for a Kotobukiya figure at 1/7 is pretty darn expensive, right? More expensive than an average Kotobukiya scale figure, but guess what? Pre-order it. If you collect Hololive stuff, pre-order it. I think it is worth the asking price given that you're getting so much stuff over here, and the value is going to hold for a character like this, so don't miss out on her. Moving up next, Fat Company and their Uma Musume figures. Tamamo Cross, right? 24,364 yen, releasing in September 2026. So Fat Company, I'm quite critical about their quality control most of the time, but if there is one product line where they are very consistent in QC, it is their Uma Musume figures. Yeah. For us FGO collectors, right, we are always cursing Fat Company because their FGO figures always have QC problems when it comes to part fitting or the paintwork or both. But their Uma Musume figures, somehow they are pretty consistent. I'm not sure if it is a different factory production line. No, they outsource it to a different factory, who knows? Or it is just bias, like the people working in Fat Company, they like this franchise over the other one, so they treat this one better. This is a thing in the anime industry, JC stuff. They did a trash job with One Punch Man Season 3. Because, number one, their schedule was nearly impossible, very tight schedule. And number two, they had a low budget. But if they bothered to animate the Season 3 instead of letting some other studio do it, right? On a low budget, it means that do they actually like One Punch Man in the first place? I mean, if you are very passionate, you like something very much, then you will put in effort and even more budget to make it successful. And the best example where JC staff made amazing anime would be the Danmachi series. Season 4, Season 5 were amazing, especially. And then we had the To Aru Kagaku no Railgun series, specifically Railgun. It was great, right? Index was kind of trashy because they rushed it once again. They never learned their lesson. But Railgun series and Danmachi, these two things come to mind. These two anime series. Whenever we talk about JC stuff making good anime, but many of their other stuff are pretty trash. So now we get back to this figure over here and the company behind it, Fat Company. It feels the same way to me. They like Uma Musume, they do a good job, and they did not like FGO or other series as much. They do a crap job. That is the feeling I'm getting, and of course, I'm just making an assumption over here. It is just a hypothesis, but who knows what the people behind in Fat Company are thinking. I hope that they are more consistent though. This one, yes, pre-order it, right? Because Uma Musume, popular enough that some figures are getting re-released or becoming rare, so pre-order it if you collect Uma Musume stuff. Moving up next, this is just a quick mention because I already covered her last week. I wasn't sure when Japanese websites will open pre-order for her. So this Makise Kurisu figure from Steins Gate by Aruma Bianca, 25k, looks like shit. Don't pre-order it. Period. Right? This is like almost price figure level quality or low budget Chinese scale figure quality, but 25,000 yen. It looks terrible. Detail level and everything, the paint looks really dull. There is a bit of shading on her hair and not much else, I think. Yeah, there is a bit of shading everywhere, I would say, but somehow the figure looks very dull. It looks cheap. So I can't recommend this one at all. Go and buy the ones by Kadokawa or Good Smile Company if you want a figure of Makise Kurisu. Next up, okay, we have two resin figures over here, licensed ones, but at 1/10 scale. 2X KO. Echo and Ahri from League of Legends, 69k. January 2027 release. Yeah, some of you in my Discord server were asking why so expensive for 1/10 scale. It is resin. Pure Art Studio, they make resin stuff. So that is the reason why. And it is licensed, so that makes it even more expensive. I still think that the best value LOL figures are the ones by Apex Toys right now. Yeah. And the next one here also by Pure Arts Studio, Jinx and Warwick, also from League of Legends, 69,000 yen, January 2027 release. The face and everything looks good, just that for the scale and 69k, yeah, I'm a bit apprehensive about these two figures. Right, moving up next, low budget figure territory. There are three figures over here. The first one is Full Ryo Tenitol Tol Sagiri Izumi shirt version, 9,500 yen. August release next year. So what is up with Eromanga Sensei making a comeback all of a sudden? Are we getting a season 2 sometime soon? If you did not watch the anime, I would say go and watch it. It is fun, at least, you know, it is entertaining. Yeah. For some reason, Furio and Tenitol, they tend to make transparent, translucent parts very nice. This looks pretty great for a low budget figure. Yeah. And it is easy to see how they kept the cost low, right? They just slap on these translucent clothes without any need for painting it or shading it. Yeah. Moving up next, we have Desktop Fairy Hatsune Miku Little Red Riding Hood version by Furio. I'm not even sure if this is a price figure or a low budget scale figure, but it is only 2,700 yen, releasing in April next year. Tiny figure for sure, very small figure, which is why the figure is so cheap. Very cute though, I love her face, man. This is very adorable. Right, and the last one right here on HLJ would be this H-Boy poster girl, which I covered before on OzGK. I think a week or 2 weeks ago. I wasn't sure if Japanese websites would pick up on her, but here we go. At least HLJ is taking pre-order for this one for 2,400 yen, releasing in August next year. So there is also a genuine Shimoe Koharu figure holding the same sign. Chibi figure for roughly the same price. You should get both, right? And then display it right in front of your edgy figures with exposed oppai. Dame desu, don't see it. Yeah. I love it. Right. So our next section over here is Ami for some exclusive or limited items. And before I proceed, if you are finding this video to be informative or at least entertaining, give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. Right, so we have Oni-chan Continue, Yuri to Secret Love Yuri Shirayuki, 1/7 scale, over 29,000 yen, including Ami bonus, and an additional faceplate over here. Yep, this smiling faceplate. The bonus would be acrylic keychain and also, yep, the smiling face. And there is a standard version here. Oh, you're still getting a bonus. Okay. But the price difference is so little. What the heck, man? You're paying a few hundred yen more for an extra faceplate. Of course, you get the more expensive one. This cheaper version does not even need to exist. Sometimes I don't know what they're thinking. Okay, so we take a look at the pictures over here. If not for that penguin over there on the floor, I would scream that this figure is overpriced. But I still think it is overpriced. Like 29k, what the heck, man? If you know something about this character, let me know down in the comments below. Is she like super popular or something? I'm not sure. But this is uncharacteristically expensive for an Alice Glint scale figure. However, the brand is a good brand. Their figures quality are quite good, so I have no problems with this brand. Right, moving up next, this is Ami exclusive, Belfine. Toho Project Ghostly Field Club Renko Usami and Maribel Hun. This is exclusive color version, 21,450 yen for a pair of figures over here. And the standard version is, yeah, the colors are less vibrant. See, this is like lavender purple and this is just dark purple or violet. So the price is exactly the same. So why is this one exclusive color version and this is standard version? I just don't get the logic over here. If you are going to make this an exclusive, then at least, I don't know, man, make it more expensive. This is weird. But anyways, Belfine is probably just slapping on that exclusive title to collect a few more pre-orders. These two figures are not big. Loli version, Loli characters, what is their height, I wonder? 13 centimeters non-scale, there you go. What the heck? This is like low budget pop-up parade sized figures. Smaller than pop-up parade, which is why these two are so cheap. And save your money. Right, moving on to the next one, Spirit Tail. This is not an Ami exclusive, but yeah. So far, 5 days, 6 days in since Monday, I couldn't find this figure on HLJ for some reason. Maru-sama 1/7 scale by Spirit Tail, 21,000 yen, releasing in July 2026. And there is a long list of countries that Ami won't ship this figure to, for reasons I don't know. Exclusivity, perhaps? Yeah. Distributor exclusivity, which really sucks. Stings of monopoly, man. Yeah. So this Maru-sama over here, I've seen her in One Fest, but until today, I have no idea who this character is. If there is an assumption I would like to make, is it a VTuber? Some online personality in general, right? I don't know, but the colors are very nice. And Spirit Tail, they make great quality figures. This is one of the better figure brands out there in terms of QC and detailing, pretty much everything. So this is a brand that I don't have any problems recommending. Moving up next, okay, this is a quick mention. This went on pre-order on HLJ a week ago, but now available on Ami. This original character by Power Alpaca, a new Chinese figure brand. Yeah, 14K over here. Provisional pre-order. Whenever you see the word provisional, it means Chinese. Yeah, they have no idea how many units they are able to get when it comes to the stock, right? Allocation. Okay, next up, now we are entering the age-restricted section on Ami, where this week we have a lot of figures, but I will be speeding through all of them over here. The first one is a 1x4 binding. Lyra, how do you pronounce that? Almost 40,000 yen, April release next year. So, bunny girl with giant melons and you can cast off both their top and bottom. Yeah, typical. Typical of this brand binding. But this design over here, even though I'm not a big melon guy, this bunny girl over here, I do like her character design quite a bit. Especially the face, I suppose. Moving up next, oh, this is so good. Q6. I suppose that Q6 cannot avoid inflation, right? They are 1x5, 1x6 scale figures. They're often under 25,000 yen, but the Japanese yen has been depreciating constantly, and now, yeah, 27k for a Q6 figure. This brand, their prices almost never go beyond 25k for many years. Now they are being forced to increase the price. So here we have Kyoe Joshi to Niku Shoku Danshi no, okay, whatever. Her name is Marina Hishimori, 1x5 scale, 27k, releasing in June. This is the Ami exclusive bonus version. And then there would be the 10th version with a different outfit, right? But I believe what we saw in the H anime adaptation is the pink version, so I think I would settle for the pink version given the choice. Of course, you can cast it off. And there is the standard version, 26k for the pink, and the white version, or the 10th version over here. You can't go wrong with any. I think both versions look great, but I am someone who loves vibrant colors, so I would pick the pink color one, given the choice. Okay, moving up next, Yukie Kujo. This is from an NTR anime, right? I did watch it. I did watch the H anime. When I saw her face, I was like, I knew which show she came from. So also by Pure, 25,740 yen after a small discount. Releasing in December 2026. Once again, not a big fan of giant melons, but I liked the anime. I liked NTR stuff, alright? I'm sorry, but your suffering is my happiness. So I like NTR stuff. And most importantly, I think it was the art style of the H anime or the artist behind the characters. I like the art style, right? Just that, yeah, big melons, not my kind of thing. So I feel a bit conflicted over here. Once the figure, but at the same time, I don't like giant oppai, and I can't review stuff like this on YouTube, unfortunately, even though I want one. Next one here, we go even bigger in oppai size. Ochi XX Bunny Fumiko Kujo 1/6, also by Pure, also at the same price, 25,740, releasing in December 2026. This one I don't like as much for some reason. Yeah, I think the size is getting a bit ridiculous over here. Moving up next, Kuzunoha Gojen Sports Bag version, also by Pure, just under 21,000 yen at 1/6 scale, releasing in December next year as well. Now, Pure as a edgy Chinese figure brand, they are making all these kind of things and getting away with it, you know. It was just last week, someone asked in my video comments, right? I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but you asked in my Figure News Fix video last week, asking me why do some Chinese brands are able to continue making cultured figures while others cannot, like the third parties, right? Okay, this is a bit complicated, but let me explain it to everyone watching this video. This ban is not absolute. It is not a blanket ban of 18 plus anime figures. There are a few caveats over here, a few exceptions, I would say. So this ban applies to only domestic local Chinese figure brands, and if they are selling the products to local Chinese people. And the reason why they are banning it is because they are unable to reliably enforce age restriction, monitoring people who buy the figure who is over or under 18. They couldn't monitor it, so they ban it outright. So only Chinese brands, and if they sell to Chinese people, which means Japanese brands opening factories in China making 18 plus figures, exempted. And if the Chinese brand is making stuff, but all of the stuff, 100% of them are being sold to the international market, to Japan and everywhere else, exempted as well. Which is why you have Pure, you have Party Look, and a few others lovely making edgy figures without any issues, right? Because on paper at least, the figures are not for domestic market, it is for the international market. Otherwise, why would China be the #1 manufacturer of adult toys, right? Yeah, makes sense, I suppose. However, when it comes to laws and rules in general, they are not absolutely perfect. There is always loopholes in the system. So sometimes you will still see some of these figures slip past the censorship and still being sold in the Chinese market anyway, in small quantities, or being sold by very low profile sellers who don't advertise them, stuff like that. Yeah, so brands like Party Look, for example, they create two branches. Party Look is 18 plus figures for the international market, and then they have Otherware, which is a branch of Party Look. They make the same exact figures as Party Look, but they glue all of the parts of the figures together, so indirectly they are no longer customable, and this is safe for work version for the domestic Chinese market, and they're often a bit cheaper because who is going to pay the same price for a figure that is no longer customable, right? So there are a few Chinese brands doing this. Safe for work division and 18 plus division, one for the Chinese market, one for the international market. Though in some cases, the Chinese version, the safe for work version, they also sell it to the international market if that is what you want. Yeah. So hopefully that clear things up a bit. Right, moving back to this next figure over here, Natsuki 1/6 scale by Pure again. Almost 23k after a small discount and releasing in December 2026. This one, she is cute, reminds me of this girl in Kako na Inazuke, but bigger oppai. Not too special, yeah. So Pure as a brand, if you want to know their stuff are good or not, yes, they are really good. The thing with edgy figure brands in general, a lot of them make good figures because Ecchi figures are niche. They are very niche, right? So the quantities being manufactured are not as big as the more mainstream safe for work figures. So the quantities are so low that they are able to control the quality better. Simple as that. Of course, not all 18 plus figures have good quality. Like, there are the bad ones out there, but many of them, the more popular ones like Pure, Native, Rocket Boy, and so on, their QC tend to be quite good. Next one, okay, the last one here, Hot Venus, a branch of Native, good stuff. Ormeal original character Miro Tapestry Set Edition for 27,500 yen. Yes, customable. Edgy figure brand after all. And there is a standard version without the wall scroll for 24k. Nice. I like this one a lot, even though she is pretty plain. And this is a pretty good Halloween figure, I suppose. Just that she will be coming out in November 2026 after Halloween has passed. Bummer. Alright, that is all for the Army section. Now we move on to Be Full Insight figures on Nin-Nin-Game, where there are 4 of them this week. The first one here, Pirate Queen Captain Lobelia 1x6 scale 22k, releasing in May 2026. Yeah, go and check out the figure yourself. I couldn't show anything. She's completely Hadaka. And the next one here, Private Toilet Serizawa-san 1622k, May release as well. Very nice. Next one here, Relief Toilet Futa Midori 1x7, 18k, and there is also a 1x5 version, 24k, both releasing in May as well. So that is all for genuine figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to OSGK for third-party resin figures. And if you go through every figure listed over here, yeah, we have more genuine figures that I have not covered yet in today's video, because some figures, especially the Chinese brands one, they pre-order a week or 2 weeks earlier in China. So OSGK has listed them in advance, right? But for the sake of not confusing myself, to make sure that I don't leave out anything, I wait until the Japanese website lists them on pre-order before I start covering them. And once again, all of the genuine figures, including Be Full Inside stuff, you can also pre-order them on OSGK if this is where you prefer to pre-order your stuff. Yeah, they have everything, genuine and third party. And one more thing would be, if you're interested in purchasing or pre-ordering literally anything, please do make use of my affiliate links for HLJ and OSGK down in the description below. That is how to support this channel. And before I proceed to the third party section, this is a quick mention over here of a new licensed PVC Chinese brand called Gogubird, or over here in Asia, we will call this Kukubird. Basically, your PP. A local slang over here. Gogubird, Kukubird. Calligraphy Maiden Mo Wanqing 1x6 scale, $209 over here at 1.6. 2 different versions, and this is apparently customable, releasing in August 2026. And the reason why I'm covering this genuine licensed PVC figure right now, even though it may pre-order open in Japanese websites next week, is because there is an important piece of information that I would like you guys to know. This is coming from H-Boy. This brand Gogubird, their figures, or at least this one over here, it is AI artwork. So some of you will have a problem with it, and if that is the case, don't pre-order it. If you don't care, then it really depends on whether you like the character or not. Yeah, myfigurecollection.net is going to have a stroke over this figure and ban it from their website's database. But I'm just letting you guys know. For me, I do not support AI art at all, but at the same time, I won't force my views and opinions on people. Yes. So I wouldn't touch this because it is AI artwork. I wouldn't want to support it, but if you want to, go ahead. And this AI art thing, this is another rabbit hole that I do not want to get into this video. Otherwise, this thing would go on forever. Okay, now we move on to third parties over here, starting off with Anyas and Chibi figures in general. We have 2 Anyas this week. The first one is Halloween by ZH Studio, one of the best Anya figure brands among the third parties. 3 versions over here at $118 each. Version A, version B, different face expression, same color. And version C, I'm a bit disappointed that we are not getting her troll face, but maybe it is not appropriate for a figure like this. And all three look pretty good, so this is quite difficult to choose. This one is of a different color as well. See, ZH Studio is so good at choosing colors for Anya that regardless of which version you choose, all three look really good. And there is no release date yet, certainly not this month, not this week, releasing next year. Okay, so nice figures of Anya for sure. The next one here by Waku Waku Studio, which also makes very good Anya figures with Halloween version as well. Is this really Halloween version or Child Bride version? Anyways, you look at this mirror over here with the troll face next to her. This is funny. For some reason, this face expression over here also looks a bit like a troll face. I'm not sure how to describe it. It looks evil for some reason, but I like it. I mean, it suits Anya, right? So $133, March 2026 release. Right, not many pictures over here. Moving up next, the next section will be life-sized plastic waifus. I'm going to go through them very quickly, just an obligation of mine. I won't go into detail on these things, right? So from this brand Bezelia, we have this Kalia Ultra Makeup 1x1 up to $2,200 before shipping. Yep, plastic waifus again. Up next, from the same brand, Tipsy Bunny Girl Magnolia 1x1 scale up to $2,600 for the deluxe version. This is just Bunny Girl, nothing too special. And the next one here, 2.16 milk chocolate Fengling, $2,600 for the deluxe version, also kinda meh. And then the next one, number 1 makeup. Why do the characters don't have a name? 2.2U Series Sunflower, number 1 makeup, what the heck? Up to, wow, over $4,000. What the heck, man? What is so special about this one? That is for the deluxe version, of course. And I just don't want to scroll through everything, but oh, that is a pretty hot blonde, but okay. I'll leave it to you to scroll through the pictures if you're interested in these things. Next up, same brand again, Final Fantasy XIV Dancer Cosplay Costume Sunset. Up to $2,600 for the white deluxe version. Small opai there. A small is not necessarily bad, as long as it is not smaller than mine. Next up, okay, this is nice. Blue Archive Asuma Toki, obviously. Up to almost $4,000 for the deluxe edition. And releasing, okay, no release date yet. This is nice, but Blue Archive after all, right? And here we have the best one among all of them this week. This is based on this character. What's her name again? Yeah, Sister Petronile. And they did not mention her name over here, probably because they did not want to get into trouble in anything related to trademark or copyright. So they did not mention her name over here. This is Sister Petronile, obviously. And this is the best one amongst all of them. Opai is of a nice shape. Not cheap, almost $4,000 for this one. Moving up next, original character section. This may be a PVC figure, I'm not sure yet. There is a lack of detail. If it is a PVC figure, the Japanese website might pick up on her in the following weeks. So coming from Mambo Studio, Kaimin Shoujo Kujimeya, $187. Yep, I think this is... Okay, I'm not sure if this is castable. I'm not sure yet because there are no pictures. This is the only one we have over here. And releasing in September 2026. So wait a few more days and see if we get more pictures of her being casted off. Just an ordinary made figure with some fan service. The next one here, this is also PVC. Yeah, so she could appear in Japanese websites once again. Nana Hiro, original Hanayome no elf. This is very nice. I love blonde elves, man. I know it is old school as heck. It is so common, but I love blonde elves. So, this is 1x6 scale releasing in August 2026, and there are different versions over here. This one is confirmed to be castable. Yes. So, both top and bottom, you get that pink slit between her legs. And character design is nice, beautiful. I love her face. $179 for the Ultimate Deluxe version is also very reasonable. Just that This brand, Nana Hero, never heard of them, so who knows what the quality is like. Moving up next, we are now in the anime characters section. So coming from Pop-Up Studio, we have Neliel from Bleach, $299. Oh, that is for the deluxe version. There are two versions over here. Version A is the one you're looking on screen, $269. Version B is it H version. What? This is version B? $86? I mean, is this like power down version? You see, I did not watch the anime at all. I know nothing about this character, but some anime characters, when they overuse their abilities or their powers, then they shrink into a child, right? Some anime are like that. So is this like her low power version or run out of power version? Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, so version A, this adult version is $269 and this one is $86, or you can get both for $299. Fine. So now if we take a closer look of her face over here, it looks fantastic. And Pop Art Studio, I just covered one of their figures in my most recent third-party resin figure review video, where we go through final production pictures, right? Episode 9, you can find it in my channel. So I covered their Yogo Ichi figure from Bleach and it was exceptional. So this is a brand that you can go for. The figure is going to turn out good, yeah. And we move on to the next one here, Wawa Studio, Ai Haibara from Detective Conan, $131. And there is the red color version. Yeah, her outfit, or the blue color version. For some reason, I feel like blue color suits her better, and I don't know why. Maybe it is because she is wearing the white coat, something you see doctors, pharmacists, medical practitioners wear, and blue is a more common color among medical practitioners compared to red. Yeah. Anyways, this is also a nice color. I mean, it is dark red, maroonish. Wait, what is she looking on screen? Oh, okay. I thought that was a vibrator. Alright, see my corrupted mind. So this is $131, releasing in June 2026. Looks pretty good to me. Next up, this is one of the best third parties this week. Polar Bear Studio, they made an amazing 2B figure from Nier Automata. So this one is very promising. Ayanami Rei from Evangelion. So there is the anime version you're seeing on screen, $372 at 1/4 scale. I remember this brand best for their 2B from Nier Automata. It was amazing, but I was too poor. Otherwise, I would have one now and I would be reviewing it. But until today, I haven't purchased one yet. I wanted their 2B very badly. And this, wow, this Asuka is amazing. The price is also extremely reasonable. They have the realistic version, which I won't touch ever. I would settle for the standard version with the anime version face only. Yep. Is that tentacles? No, I don't think so. But anyways, huge sword, not pretty girls in mecha outfit and big swords, my kind of thing. So this one is something I really like. I think Rei Ayanami might be next, coming from this brand, now that they have Rei over here, releasing this December. Yes, this December, which is like next month. Insane. Alright, so the starting price for anime version only is $372, can go all the way up to $421 if you go for both head sculpts, which is very reasonable. Next up, we have Pink Studio Your Forger from Spy Family, 1/4 scale, $388, releasing in March 2026. Oh, this is nice. See, until today, I have not watched the Code White movie yet. I need to find the time to do so. Otherwise, I could not watch the latest new season because it is a direct continuation, right? $388 for all of this at 1/4. Good value, man. Oh, that is a nice base. I'm not sure if I like the face. I think that is a realistic face, I'm afraid. Are there any other angles? Oh, we are getting both realistic and anime face, I see. Because this one, look at the eyes, that is obviously realistic face. But if we are getting both, then I'm not complaining. What do you think about her eye? Okay, I think it is an illusion. For a second, it almost looks like her eyes are misaligned, but you know, her head is tilting one side. So yeah, no problems over here. Looks pretty good. I like this version of Your Forger a lot. Right, moving up next, we have a 1x4 scale front from So No Free Run by Last Work Studio. This is kinda cultured, but at the same time, you can't really cast off, right? It is just a fan service figure. So $278 only at 1x4. That's right, this is a 1x4, releasing in March 2026, and this is what her face looks like. If it looks good to you, you're happy with it, then this could be quite the deal. The entire height of the figure is 55 centimeters, including her staff. Big figure over here, but yeah, it is kind of cheating. They give her a very tall base, to make the figure seem bigger than it actually is. Next up, we have Asuna from Suck S Online by Beast Studio. Yeah, there are certain things I don't like about SAO, which is why I call the game and anime this way. But anyways, this Asuna, the pose is just so weird. Like, who the heck points a sword at an opponent while lifting your leg above your arm holding the sword? What kind of battle stance is this, man? This is like doing the pose this way for the sake of fan service, but doesn't make any sense at all. This is both kung fu and sword fighting at the same time. What is this pose? Like, the face and everything else looks kinda normal, kinda okay, but I feel like I do have a problem with the pose over here. And I'm afraid that the figure might lean over time when her ankle is so thin, If you live in a very hot and humid country, and yeah, the temperatures are quite high, I'm a bit concerned over here. Hopefully they reinforce her legs with metal rod all the way up to her knee level at least, or even the thigh level, not just the foot peg. Otherwise, there could be problems in future. Beast Studio is a bit inconsistent. They have good figures and they have those that the face are a bit off, right? I mentioned this quite a few times already, so it depends on you whether you want to take the risk or not. For me, my advice would be to check out the genuine figures out there because there are so many choices for Asuna. And maybe, who knows, go and have a look in Taobao. Even though you can't read Chinese, you can always use Super Buy to buy stuff from Taobao. Yeah, so this character has so many genuine PVC figures. Don't rush into a decision. Don't rush your purchase, I mean. Yeah, moving on to the next one. This is from Paihame Kazoku, which is apparently a novel, right? Diyu Yenju Suo Studio, not sure how to pronounce that. Suki from Paihame Kazoku, $282. For those of you who love MILFs making green tea down there, so you will want this figure over here. I can't show the full figure, but when I say making green tea, you already know what I mean. So this is going for $282 for 1/6, which is pretty expensive. And this is obviously a CGI render, not the actual figure, so I want to see more pictures of the actual figure if possible. If you like Ahegao faces, you might want to give this one a look. Moving on to the next one, now we enter game characters section. So the first one here, KOF My Shiranui by Pink Butterfly Studio, $244 only at 1x4. And the reason for that is, yeah, this figure's detail level is a bit low. Releasing in March 2026. So, being a 1x4 over here, if you take a closer look, there isn't much detail on her outfit. There is some texture, but that is about it. Not much else, right? The face looks okay, realistic but looks okay. Low detail overall, so you can think of this as being similar to Free Ink's 1x4 Skill Bunny Girls. Lower detail, but at least for a resin figure, the price is pretty low. Moving up next, we have Liu Xingwan Studio 2B white mold version of 2B. So this one you need to paint it yourself for $141 at 1x6 scale. So this is for those of you who want to learn painting or GKs. I won't go into detail because this is not something most of you watching this video will buy at all. Moving up next, we have Demon Core Studio. Artoria has transformed into a goblin card from Fate Stay Night, basically becoming a slave to a goblin king. This is something that will never happen to a character like Saber or Artoria. She is a strong woman, she is a knight, right? But for the sake of fan service and for people who like cultured stuff like this, yeah, this is a very interesting figure, a very unique figure, and I can see how some people will want this. Not cheap though, at 1x5 scale, $422. Releasing in September 2026. And is this customable? I'm afraid not, but there are not enough pictures over here, right? We only have 2 pictures over here, and there are no pictures of the figure being casted off. Not to mention, OSGK did not label this figure as 18 plus, so I am reluctant to say that this is customable. This is just a funny figure for people who love this kind of figures, I suppose. So is that a big deal? I don't know, man. I feel like this kind of figures should have a cast-off feature. Specifically this kind of theme over here, being captured by a goblin, right? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. Oh, cultured stuff. Fish Head Studio. Arknights Exushii. Okay, $251 at 1x6 scale. This is basically Dakimakura figure, but both top and bottom are exposed. Nice. I love it. $251 releasing in June 2026, and I couldn't show much. So I just needed to know what the face looks like, and I'm giving her a big thumbs up over here. Fish Head Studio, like I told you guys last week, I'm suspecting them to be a rebranded TXS Studio, which means they actually make very good figures, right? Moving on to the next one here from Scarlet Studio. What? Scarlet Studio. This is Stellar Blade Eve, crossover with Nikke, cosplaying as Scarlet. 1x4 scale, $465, releasing in March 2026. What do you guys think? I mean, it makes sense to have a crossover between Nikke and Stellar Blade because both are by the same developer. But so far, I have seen so many of these crossover figures by a few different brands already. And the combination does not seem to work very well for some reason. It is like when they make Eve cosplay as a Nikke character, I can barely recognize that it is Eve at all, if that makes any sense, right? So I'm not sure what to think about it. Some people like them. I have received feedback, comments from people who said that they like it. So yeah, maybe this is just a matter of personal taste. I'm not sure if this even looks like Eve at all, to be honest. Yep, you get a usual texture with resin figures. Oh, metallic paint is nice. So this one, $465 is okay, given the kind of base you're getting. Moving up next, we have Lowland Studio Blue Archive Asuna Office Secretary version, $331 at 1x4 scale. No release date yet, and with Asuna, like I mentioned a few times before, her face is very easy to replicate accurately, so even the bootleg brands and even the third-party PVC figure brands are able to get her face right, so there isn't much to worry. If you like something like this, then pre-order it. And even more so, Lowland Studio has amazing figures from the Honkai series, right? I keep bringing up their Bronya J-Chick motorcycle figure. That thing is amazing. Yeah, too poor to afford one, unfortunately, but this brand I can easily recommend. Moving up next, we have Liu Xing One Studio Asuna Ichinose again from Blue Archive. This is a white mold. You need to paint it yourself, and we only have CGI images over here, $141. So this is for those of you who want to paint your figure. Not much else to discuss over here. Moving up next, Asuna what? This is Asuma Toki. What is wrong with you guys over at OSGK? Fix the title, man. This is Asuma Toki, so obvious. By Yujai Wenxing Studio again, they make 1x3 scale dolls or action figures, seamless, and yeah, you can undress it because it is a doll. $354 at 1x3 scale, releasing this December. Just less than 2 months away. And what do you think about this kinda Ahegao face? I'm not sure what to think, man, but I'm sure there will be people who love it. To me, it looks a bit weird. On Asuma Toki at least. And I really don't want to scroll through the pictures because because there are Hadaka pictures, obviously. But it is not a bad face, you know. It does look like Asuma Toki. I think Yujai Wenxing Studio, it is like their dolls, right? The action figures. Some of them look good. exceptionally good, and there are those that look really bad. And this one is one of the better looking ones, as long you are fine with the Ahegao face over here. I do love Ahegao faces myself, but I think it may be her outfit, the cloth being a bit too thick, so it looks very bulky, right? Asuma Toki is quite a slender character. Her chest is small and everything. Her oshiri is also small, quite flat in fact, but her body looks bulky over here, and I think the main culprit is actually the outfit because it is real cloth. So that might be why the figure looks a bit weird to me. The last figure for this week would be Barney Studio Shinano from Azur Lane, $253 at 1/6 scale, June 2026 release. So there is another brand who has made the same figure and it has already been released. I just covered it in my recent third-party resin figure video as well, episode 9. So I don't remember what is the name of that brand, but it is mentioned in that video. So I would rather you try to look for that version, the one that is already out, because the quality is confirmed to be good on that version. Meanwhile, Barney Studio has a track record of making very mid figures. They take what SSR figure has done with the Bunny Girl figures, and then they converted it into Genshin Impact characters. Low detail, low effort, $100 or so. And yeah, those figures left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I don't have a very positive opinion of them because of what they did in the past. Granted, this Shinano over here is their best looking figure so far, but I'm not confident about this brand over here. So this is something you should know, right? Barney Studio is also a brand that I covered in that third-party resin figure video, by the way, so you can always check out that video if you want to know what their quality is like. So that is all for figures on pre-order this week. Which figure will you pre-order on day 1? And which one will you wait until after release and get it later? Let me know down in the comments below. This is a pretty good week, especially for PVC figures on the genuine side. Apex Toys, Alter, Good Smile, everyone are cooking up good stuff. So if you found this video to be entertaining or informative, once again, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel, help this channel grow. And until then, thanks a lot for watching. I will see you soon. Goodbye.